Every year, there are a handful of cars that you simply can't ignore. Cars that demand your attention, and rightfully so. Because these aren't just boring crossovers or Tesla ripoffs, these are cars that really matter. So on today's episode of Technic Auto House, you'll discover 10 cars, trucks, and SUVs all well worth the wait. And trust me, you don't want to miss number 10 on the list. The Porsche Cayman GT4 is a true enthusiast car. It's lightweight, powerful, and an absolute monster on the track. But what if I told you Porsche has something even lighter, more powerful, and track capable in the works? Meet the Porsche 718 Cayman GT4 RS. It'll feature Porsche's classic 4-liter flat-six engine, rumored to produce a staggering 500 horsepower. Even more impressive is how this thing will handle. The GT4 will be getting the RS treatment, which means some lightning here, some stiffening elsewhere. And the result? Well, the other RS cars speak for themselves. Porsche's engineers are the kings of taking an amazing car and making it even better. On the outside, majority of the body is kept the same, apart from a large rear wing the size of a child's picnic table, and some added vents for better cooling and aero. The car is expected to arrive late 2021 or early 2022, so the only question that remains now is how much will it cost? Well, the car is likely to start around $130,000, which in my opinion will be well worth it. This is for sure going to be a car to look forward to. Equally as impressive is Corvette ZO6. There's nothing quite like the sound of a naturally aspirated engine. The ZO6 has a shriek that sounds like it was composed by the likes of Mozart. Although the production C8 did have a toned down exhaust note, we're expecting to see a high performance exhaust fitted on the ZO6 that really opens the car up. The ZO6 is powered by a naturally aspirated 5.5 liter V8, rumored to produce north of 600 horsepower and rev between 8,500 and 9,000 RPM. Like usual, Chevy's opted for a mid-engine configuration to maximize traction, which means better handling and weight distribution, and not to mention the improvements they made for better track times and performance. The new Z06 will feature wider rubber, improved suspension, upgraded powertrain cooling, and stronger brakes, all in the name of improving performance and track times. Power will be sent through an 8-speed dual-clutch automatic transaxle, which drives the rear wheels and pushes this car into another dimension. The Z06 is very reasonably priced at $85,000 and will likely offer the best bang for your buck deal on the market. Look forward to seeing these early 2021. Next up in our sports car lineup is an Italian automaker trying to be relevant again. If you guessed Maserati, you'd be correct. They've crafted a brand new sports car, which they claim is the start of a new phase in their brand's history. It's called the Maserati MC20. It'll be powered by a new twin turbocharged V6, reportedly putting out over 600 horsepower, which is mental for how light the body is. Torque is directed through an 8-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission, with power most likely being sent to the rear wheels. Maserati even said a battery electric variation is in the works for future models. So a lightweight Maserati with over 600 horsepower and a stunning exterior? You're probably wondering how much all this costs. Well, it's not cheap. The MC20 is estimated to start at $160,000. The only question I have now is how it'll stack up against competitors like the Porsche 911, Audi R8, or the McLaren 570S. The coupe variation is expected to arrive this year, with the convertible spec following suit in 2021. For those of you who need a little more space than what a coupe has to offer, say hello to the Genesis GV80. It's best described by one word: luxury. The Korean manufacturer has designed an SUV that's simply impossible to ignore, even when compared to BMW's X5 or Audi's Q7. The standard engine outputs 290 horsepower, while the higher trims are outfitted with a 375 horsepower twin turbocharged V6 paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission. The SUV comes standard with 5 seats, but you can option an extra row if you need it. And the cabin is seriously luxurious, with styling cues on par with its competitors. the GV80 should hit roads no later than this summer, with prices starting from the low 40s all the way up to $70,000 for fully spec'd out models. It'll be interesting to see how the GV80 stacks up against the X5 and its competitors. The Lexus brand is already synonymous with quality and luxury. With the all-new Lexus LQ, they've only heightened their appeal to the luxury car buyer market. This new luxury SUV is set to replace the brand's LX model. It'll likely feature a twin turbocharged V6, which will produce an ample 416 horsepower. Car and Driver have also reported an F-Performance model could output over 600 horsepower, all powered by a twin turbocharged V8. All in all, this SUV is one we're very excited to review. However, that's still a few years out, and prices could be as high as $100,000 for a fully spec'd out model. It'll be interesting to see if they can set the new bar in the full-size luxury SUV market. In the sedan lineup, Acura's introduced a fully redesigned TLX. Going head-to-head with the BMW 3 Series, Mercedes C-Class, and the Audi A4, previous A-specs simply didn't match up. It was slower to 60 than all three of the base model variants of the German triplets, and didn't have an interior that made you feel special. But Acura hopes to address all these problems with their new car, the Type S. The Type S will pack a punch with the new turbocharged V6, reportedly putting out a good chunk more than the 290 horsepower it made before. Acura has also designed a new unibody exclusive to the TLX to help improve handling and the overall feel of the drive. The car sounds very promising, and if they can get this car right, I can see this being a huge success for Acura, but it all comes down to how well they can price it. The base model is slated to come out this year with a starting price of $30,000. However, we're going to have to wait another year before the Type S spec touches ground. Moving on, we have the CT5V Blackwing, a name that not only sounds badass, but is fitting for the revival of the CTSV sport class. The car's 6.2-liter supercharged V8 engine has an output of 650 horsepower. Let me say that again. 650 horsepower going straight to the rear wheels. And did I mention it comes in a manual transmission? This is the first time in history Cadillac will be the only car in its class that will retain a manual transmission. Although it could lose some points in terms of handling, I'm curious to see how it does up against the likes of the Audi RS7, the SRT Hellcat, and the BMW M5. And here's some more good news. Cadillac CT5V Blackwing could touch down as early as the end of this year, starting at $85,000, which is a steal for the amount of car you're getting. Chances are you've heard of the Rivian R1T, and if you haven't, let me be the first to tell you, this thing is impressive. For starters, it's an electric truck. Rivian promises over 400 miles of range and acceleration speeds that rival those of supercars. And for those of you who like to push a car to its limits, it's up to the challenge with 750 horsepower on hand.
Now it's clean, powerful fun, all at your fingertips.
Quad motors instantly send all that power independently to each wheel, so drivers can maximize traction no matter the road conditions. Because of the quad motor setup, the Rivian is able to do tank turns. It's also incredibly functional. It features 12 cubic feet of lockable storage for things like skis, snowboards, golf clubs, and more. There's also the sizable rear bin and a flexible crossbar system that can be used when mounting gear. To top it all off, the interior matches the beauty of the exterior with a large digital dashboard, sustainably sourced wood, and functional materials that allow for rugged daily use. The R1T will start at $69,000, which is considerably more than the Cybertruck. You can expect to see these trucks roaming around by late 2020. Yes, the electric truck market is quickly becoming oversaturated, but there's one pickup that steals the show and rightfully deserves a spot on this list. Tesla's Cybertruck is unlike anything we've ever seen, because when it comes to styling, there simply isn't anything else that compares.
And where other trucks use traditional body-on-frame platforms, Cybertruck has a unibody platform that works in coordination with the 3 motors to tow up to 14,000 pounds.
One thing that Elon Musk has kept a secret is the horsepower and torque figures. But we're assuming it'll follow the Model S platform, which means the performance variant could have north of 800 horsepower and 1,000 pound-feet of torque. Even more astounding is how fast this car will get from a standstill to 60, which it does in mind-blowingly fast 2.9 seconds. And for those worried about charging it all the time, the tri-motor variation has a range of 500 miles. So how much will the truck of the future set you back? The single motor version starts at just over $40,000, with the triple motor version somewhere around the $70,000 mark. It's set to arrive late 2021. It's time to look at what we consider to be one of the most exciting supercars to be announced. The McLaren 765 Longtail. It's track focused, lighter, and even sharper than the 720S. If you know how fast the McLaren 720S is, then just the thought of this car should excite you. And if that's not enough to get your heart racing, maybe this will. After researching the lap times between the 720S and the McLaren P1, the 720S outperformed the P1 5 times out of 7 on the track, and is almost dead even with the Senna in a straight line. So imagine what an LT treated 720 could do on the track. The new 765 LT will utilize the same twin turbocharged 4-liter V8 featured in its siblings. But after tweaking the engine's internals and giving it the proper LT treatment, the new 765 will produce 755 horsepower and 590 pound-feet of torque. It'll go to 60 a tenth quicker than the 720 and a whole 1.2 seconds quicker to 124 miles per hour. But this isn't all what the car is about. McLaren has also focused their attention on making this car a track beast. They've not only lightened the car 126 pounds, they've also improved aero throughout the car by adding a revised front splitter, new side skirts, a mean rear diffuser, and a massive rear wing. All this amounts to a downforce improvement of 25% over the standard 720S. Only 765 of these bad boys will be made, but with performance like this on the table, it'll definitely be difficult to get one. The estimated arrival is fall 2020 with a starting price of around $375,000. So there you have it. Those are the top 10 cars worth waiting for. We know how much it sucks to wait for something you're dying to see, but to help pass the time, you can continue to watch more of our videos. And remember to like and subscribe. Comment down below to let us know what you want to see next. But until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and enjoy those quarantine drives.